I have not changed a bridge on a Floyd Rose style guitar before. It gets a ton of bad rap, but I don't think it's as hard as people make it out to be. Theoretically, I know what to do. I've changed strings on many guitars before. Just not on one with a locking trem. Today we're going to give it a go and figure out whether or not it's actually as hard as people say it is. My feeling is that it's not. First thing I'm gonna do is unlock the nut and get rid of this broken string. I'm only gonna unlock one part of the nut at a time and just change one string at a time. I'm not gonna bother locking down the bridge or anything because I don't think you need to. I think it's gonna maintain tension on the strings if we just do one at a time. So let's get our thing out and unlock this. Locking trems don't have the ball on the end, which is interesting. Fun little fact for you. So we're gonna have to cut that off. Oh. I just try and avoid damaging your clothes with the new strings. Pro tip, we don't need the ball end, so I'm actually going to cut that off with this string winder thing. I've never tried this string winder thing. I'm skeptical about how well this works, so we'll give it a go. Oh, that worked really well. I didn't think this would work very well, but now that I've cut the ball end off, I'm going to thread it into the bridge just until I feel it at the bottom. Then just tighten it up. Firm, but not over tight. Next step, come back down here, thread it under through the lock. Alright, so there's the high E, it's in tune. Bridge is still flush. I'm not going to lock this yet, we'll leave it unlocked. We'll stretch the strings first with it unlocked. Wow, this is way better than I expected it to be. B string out, through the nut, loosen the end, ditch the ball bearing, put it in, tighten the saddle, firm but not too tight, thread it through the nut. Generally it's a good idea to leave a couple of fingers worth of slack. This is really easy, still even, perfect, okay. I'm just gonna zip through the rest of these and then we'll stretch the strings. So, time lapse. This morning, I broke a string on the Silver Sky. So I thought it would be interesting to compare, see how long it takes me to change the ones on this versus the locking trem. This is pretty much as simple as you can get. We got a bridge that we just have to feed through the back. It's tight against the body. Locking tuners, which means you don't really have to wind them. Most simple string change versus locking trem. Let's see how long it takes. Time, we done. Was that it? I'm pretty sure that was sooner. My bridge is still perfectly level, but by my estimate, it was only like 10 minutes less time. That's not much. I don't know what the fuss is about this. When I'm stretching strings, generally, I just give them a gentle tug and hold down the string at different points along the fretboard. You kind of slide up and down sometimes if you want to. You don't want to pull it too tightly because, you know, you don't want to break the string. But remember, you bend strings when you play, so they are designed to get a little slinky. I'm not too concerned about it being perfectly in tune at this stage because we're still stretching them. The goal is to stretch them until we can stretch them and not have to tune them again. So it gets less and less every time. I'm not having to turn the machine heads as much each time I stretch. Alright, there we go. I think they are properly stretched now. Now I'm just going to lock these on the end. that was actually so much easier than I anticipated. People often talk about how difficult it is to change the strings on a locking guitar, but that honestly took less than half an hour, including stretching the strings and setting up like the cameras and stuff. That was far easier than I thought it would be. Couple of key pointers if you want to change the strings on a locking trem to make it easy for yourself. The goal is to keep this bridge level the whole time while we're changing it. As I said, some people like block it off. I don't think you need to. I think you just need to change the strings one at a time. That was my approach, and that maintained the tension on the bridge so it didn't dip. Leave this unlocked until after you've stretched the strings before locking it back up. Otherwise the strings won't be stretched beyond the nut. Yeah, I mean, that was stupidly easy. I actually can't believe how easy that was. That was like really no harder than changing the strings on any normal guitar. Wow. Thanks for checking out the video, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you want to learn. Give the video a like. We'll catch you next time.